Alright, we're back here again. So, we left off with having to make a poem. And we're gonna do that. So, I looked back on the footage, then I looked at the comments, and one person asked what route am I gonna do. So, I'm not quite sure yet. So, we can, I mean, it doesn't really matter what I can do. I could choose whoever, but, we'll just see what goes from here. So, I'm gonna actually pick instead of just random. So, headphones. Lucky. Oh man. Oh man. I it feel it's okay. I said it. I'll say it again. It's crazy going back from DDLC and then to here to the new like storyline. I feel like it could be a new storyline. I don't know. Waterfall. All right. Oh boy. Bookie, fancy meeting you here. Yeah, what a coincidence. Seriously speaking, though, I'm happy to see you back here. I would have been disappointed if you ran away on us. Hey, I enjoyed myself last time, so why wouldn't I come back? True enough. Feel free to make yourself at home before we start on our club activities. Thanks, will do. Well, I'm back at the literature club. Sarah and I were the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Oh, Blookie, I'm glad to see you here again. Who knew that something so simple would have warrant so much thanks? First Monica, and now Yuri. I know that may be overwhelming to be thrown into a new hobby so suddenly, much less an organization centered around that hobby. So don't hesitate to let me know if you ever need any help. Or any other club member for that matter. That is to say, feel free to ask any of us for assistance. Right, thanks. I'll keep that in mind. Don't worry though, it's not like I never read anything before. Haha. I haven't remembered to write a poem for today, if you'll believe it. Sorry, it's a little loud. We'll believe it when we see it. It's not like I need to have a university degree to write a poem. It was just like another school assignment, although it might be a little too new to me. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to write a poem, you mean? She's got me there. That's why I never said I wrote a good poem. Natsuki smirks at me, seemingly pleased that I'm not offended by her teasing. Oh good, it's often subjective when it comes to subjects like these. I'm sure you did fine, Lucky. Well, thanks for the vote of confidence. Try not to overhype my work, though. Yeah, Yuri, if you keep your expectations low, you'll never be disappointed. Besides, I bet this first extracurricular book he's done since high school started. So extra work is probably really foreign to him. Again, she's not wrong, but she doesn't have to say like that. Natsuki, you're being unfairly harsh. Lucky, what would you say your main hobbies are? Well, as of right now, I'm recording a freaking video playing this game behind a computer screen. Wow, she's really putting me on the spot here. I know I'm playing into your teasing right now, but yes, I spend a lot of time playing games and watching anime. That's all you need to know. And that's all you need to know. That's a bit rich coming from someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki splutters to a halt. Looks like a certain someone knows how to dish it out, but can't take it. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Bookie always gives it his best, as long as he's having fun. He's always been there when I need it. When we were kids, he'd always be around to help me with stuff. Oh, are you two childhood friends? I glance at Sayuri despite her cherry recollection of our childhood memories just then. Yuri's question is a reminder that we haven't spent much time together in a long time. It's a tad awkward. Yeah, we've known each other for a while, haven't we? We smile at each other. I'm really hoping we can use the club to reconnect. Such a history with one another. I imagine you've shared much together. You could say that. Would you believe Sayori is still as clumsy now as she was 10 years ago? Hey, Mimi, that's not true. Oh, need I tell you about the time you tried to cook lunch and almost set the house on fire? Her face turns pink, and she rushes to interrupt me. Anyway, I'm sure you two could be just as good of friends. After all, you're both in the literature club now. Yeah, look forward to it. Yuri looks hopeful at hearing this, although I can't help but wonder. Oh, here comes the yawn. Here comes the little yawns again. Given the maturity of intelligence she carries so elegantly, and how her passion for reading is much stronger than my own, will it be easy as Sayori thinks it is? Still, it's worth a try at least. Yay! Oh, Yuri, even you brought something today, you know? Wait, Sayori? Me? It's not much really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. Whatever it is, I'm sure I'll like it. What is it, Yuri? Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. I was gonna wait to give it to you at the appropriate time, but I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. Now everyone is surprised. The two girls both look all fitted down. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so this is still a pleasant surprise to me. Just knowing that you went through the effort to get me something makes me feel really welcomed. No matter what, I'm sure it'll make me happy. Is that so? Of course. Thanks for being I almost said inconsiderate. Thanks for being so considerate, Yuri. You're welcome. It was the least I can do. Anyway, if that's the case, here it is. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. Isn't this the book from yesterday? God. Isn't this the book from yesterday? Upon seeing the confused look on my face, she hastens to explain. I thought you might like to have your own copy so that you can read it on your own as well. I honestly don't know what to say. How is it that she's only known me for a day? She's only known me for a day, yet she's already done something that this thoughtful for me. Yuri, thank you. That's really thoughtful of you, but you didn't have to do that for me. I feel kind of bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that. I understand if you don't want to read with me anymore. So honestly, she gets more adorable by the minute. Please, it's fine. I'd love to read it with you. I just wasn't expecting you to buy me a copy of my own. Are you sure? I don't want to force you. Seriously, Yuri, I'm sure after all. I grin at her. It is a good book. She timidly returns my smile, relaxing a little bit. I'm glad you seem to think so. How are you liking this so far? She looks at me with wide, expectant eyes. She must really be worried that I'm not enjoying it as much as her. To be honest, I've been pleasantly surprised. While horror isn't really my thing, it really kept my attention. Even though I haven't gotten very far yet, I find myself feeling sorry for the protagonist. The language is pretty engaging. It certainly makes me think about it. As I praise the book, her face grows visibly more relieved, and her eyes light up as I mention the language. I'm glad you think so. One not only needs to look at what is being said, but how it's phrased. It can entirely change the desired message, wouldn't you agree? Oh boy. I hope we don't get into in-depth discussion about the language. I'm still nowhere near Yuri's level with this sort of thing. Oh, totally. I never really thought about it until you brought it up with me. You really made me look at it with a bit more scrutiny than I would normally. She blushes at this, turning away slightly. Really? I helped you with that? I have to admit, you really managed to open my eyes to this sort of thing. Or should I say, wait, third eye? Yeah, real smooth of me. Real smooth of me. Your silence makes me nervous. Did I make a mistake? You know, because the book mentions third eye and there's an eye on the cover. Ah, I see. Probably best not to comment on her accidental continuation of the pun. Tough crowd. Oh, I see. You were making a joke. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. No worries, I just thought it was a good pun. She smiles bashfully. Yes, it is quite humorous, isn't it? Phew, I think that means everything is okay now. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off the scheduled activities for the club. Like the poetry thing. I've already steeled myself with a critique I'll probably be receiving. But it seems that we have some downtime before then. Oh, well, looks like I won't be able to just immediately get it over with. What are the others doing now? Siri and Monica are having a cherry conversation in the corner. Probably discussing club matters, given that they're the president and vice president. As expected, Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. A few huffs of annoyance sound from her direction every once in a while. Everyone seems to be doing their own thing today. Natsuki's rummaging around in the cupboard, and Yuri is sitting by herself, silently engrossed in her book. Meanwhile, Monica and Siri seem to be talking animatedly about something. I'm not really in the mood to read anything. I slump down into the nearest desk. Closing my eyes, I end up listening in on a serious conversation with Monica. The problem with the literature club is that it just doesn't sound particularly exciting. Plus, people probably have their own preconceptions about what the club will be like. I'm a bit worried they might assume we're all pretty tenacious and yeah, it's a real shame that people can't look past their assumptions. Still, I'm confident we can come up with something. We can't just give up. This festival is a real chance to show everyone what literature is all about. After all, we have such a variety here. Freaking yawns. Everyone's poems and writing styles are so different. Natsuki loves manga, and Yuri's really into horror. There should be something here for everyone, you know. Agreed. I'm glad everyone has such different tastes. It really helps bring the club to life. That's exciting. Exciting. That's exactly what we want everyone else to see. We just need to find a way of showing how fun literature can be. Something that really stands out and appeals to their creative sides. That doesn't solve the problem, though. What do you mean? Well, even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, I don't think people will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So I think it's more important to figure out how to get people interested in the first place, right? And then once they're here, we can do whatever to appeal to their creative sides. This is a side to Yuri I haven't seen before. She's really taking this seriously and giving it a lot of thought. Excellent, poor Siri. Where would I be without my vice president? Okay, do you think food will get the job done? I can practically hear Siri's face light up even though I have my eyes closed. Food? What kind? You like that idea, huh? I was thinking cupcakes. Natsuki would love that. Good thinking. Her cupcakes are so good. That works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it. Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy. Seriously, they really help me write. Okay, cupcakes will do fine. All this talk about food has made me hungry. Anyway, don't forget we still have to sort out details of the festival itself. Tune out the rest of the conversation as tiredness takes a stronger hold of me. On me. Sayori is still in her usual self, bubbly and goofy. I guess some people never change. It brings a smile to my face, although I was surprised to see her so dedicated. I always remembered her as the kind of person who just improvises things. Kind of like me, actually. Hi! That actually freaking scared me. Okay. I swear. Okay. So I definitely remember this dialogue not being in the actual game, because like I think my character just falls asleep a little bit through the conversation. I don't know. It's been a long time. I didn't expect to see Siri's face taken out of my vision when I opened my eyes. I nearly fall out of my chair. Wake up, sleepyhead. Geez, Siri, you scared me. Sorry. Hang on, I'm not sorry at all. Why were you napping? This is the literature club, not the napping club. Wait, our school has a napping club? Hey, don't try and change the subject, mister. The others won't like it if they catch you sleeping, you know. I don't want you getting in trouble.
Siri, you've not changed a bit. One bit. You've never changed one bit. I'll just say that. But you always used to look out for me, back when we used to hang out. I remember that. Do you remember the time we went on a bike ride to that park? It feels like such a long time ago. Yeah, I think I do actually. It was in the summer. You're talking about the time I fell off my bike and hurt my knee, right? Oh! 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 Yeah, that one. You were in a lot of pain, but you were trying to act like it was no big deal. You were so silly. You were so silly I had to go and get a band-aid. That memory makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. The fact that I could tell straight away which memory she was talking about makes me wonder if we have a psychic bond or something. Good times. Good times. By the way, did you know you have a big toothpaste stain on your collar? No, I don't. She nervously picks at the stain with her hands as I stand up and get a closer look at her. Wait a sec, your collar is sticking up a bit. Your hair doesn't look brushed either. Were you in a rush or something? Were you in a rush this morning? I reach out and run my fingers down the messy part of her hair in a vain attempt to straighten it out. Her hair is really soft and smells faintly of cinnamon. I'm probably making it worse. I'm probably making this worse. You really need to brush the earring. Oh, I don't. My hair is just naturally like this. Okay, maybe it isn't, but it's super hard to get it right. I give up with her hair and try to wipe out the stain with my fingers. Much like with her hair, I'm not having much luck. Come on, Sierra, you can't fool me. I know I've seen much of you over the past few years, but I still know you. I could tell when you've been in a rush. People wouldn't even notice these things. They would. They just wouldn't say anything because they don't want to embarrass you. I give it with the stain and step back looking at her blazer. But luckily for you, I'm not bothered about it. Also, why don't you button up your blazer? She shrugs. It was too stuffy last time I tried it. I started buttoning it up. Okay, I forgot about this part. This is so funny. What is? Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does these kind of things. I freeze. Now that I think about it, the situation is a little suggestive. After all, my hands are very close to her chest. Come on, Loki, get it together. You're just helping out a friend, that's all. Don't say that. There's nothing weird about this. If you say so, it's okay though. I'm happy we're like this. It makes me feel like nothing has really changed between us. Don't you think? Yeah, I guess. Why is this one button so hard to close? Be careful. This is impossible. Does this thing even fit you properly? It did when I bought it. You know, if you actually buttoned it, you probably have realized sooner that it doesn't fit you anymore. Wait, what's so funny? Don't you see? It means my boobs got bigger again. Oh man. How on earth am I meant to reply to that? Geez, Siri, don't say that out loud. Anyway, you look a bit better now. Seeing Siri's blazer button up like that is weird. It's so stuffy. I told you. She quickly unbuttons it again. There goes all my hard work. Much better. Thank you for that, though. Even though I prefer the blazer unbuttoned, it was really thoughtful of you to do this for me. I mean, not gonna lie, she does look kind of normal like that, even without the blazer. Wait, maybe not. Okay, maybe not without the blazer, but just like the blazer unbuttoned. It just looks normal, the way I see it. Even if you were a bit of a meanie. I do try, you know. I'm sorry. I just want what's best for you, that's all. Just try to give yourself a bit more time in the morning, okay? Only if you promise to stop napping in the club. She got me there. It's a deal. Okay, everyone. Monica suddenly calls out. Why don't we share the poems we wrote now? Yay, I can't wait to read yours, Blicky. Don't expect too much, Siri. By the way, you did remember to write a poem, right? Don't worry, I'm not that much of a slacker. I've got it right here in my bag. I rifle through some stray papers to pull out the page that I wrote my poem on. While I can't help but feel a little nervous, I have to admit that I'm excited now.
Talking to these girls has really calmed my nerves, and now I'm just eager to share my poem. After all, judging by each girl's personality, I doubt that anyone would say anything nasty about it. Well, Natsuki, I don't know if she'd be undully harsh, though. She just seems like the type of person who enjoys ribbing on your friends. Either way, I hope they realize that I put hard work into it. I figured that it'd be only fair to repay their warm welcome by showing effort in club activities.
Now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers on a neat black conversation notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. She's going to put us all to shame. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. Alright. Well, this is the main part. Picking who to show their poems to. It says, whom should I share my poem to first? I'll just start with Monica. Yesterday, she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know I'm putting in effort. Hi, Bookie. Hope you've been enjoying your time here. Yep, definitely. I probably sound like a broken record by now. Everyone's been really welcoming. Well, a broken record isn't so bad when it plays something so nice. I guess so. Anyway, since you're new and everything, feel free to bring up any questions or concerns you might have. It's my duty as president to make sure that everything is perfect. I have to say that you've been doing a good job of that already. Actually, I doubt that I'll ever have anything to complain about. Either way, I'm always open to suggestions for the club as well. So don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. She says that, but it's going to be a bit intimidating to try to criticize Monica of all people. I really don't think that there's going to be anything I'll need to speak up about, either. One of the other girls would probably say something before I ever needed it, too. Natsuki definitely would. Now that that's out of the way, feel free to share your poem with me. I mean, I don't really have a choice in the matter, do I? You shouldn't be thinking like that. Yeah, I was just joking. Kinda. It's alright, Bookie. I get that it's probably really awkward for you to share creative work when you're just a beginner. Especially since the rest of us have a bit more experience than you do. That's an understatement. Don't worry though, we're all a little embarrassed today, you know? I don't think many people out there should share their poetry on a regular basis. But it's the sort of thing that you get used to pretty quickly once you get it over with. Yeah, that's true. I had my poem over with a Don't grade me too harshly. You'll be fine. I watched nervously as she quickly scans through my poem. Interesting poem, Bookie. Has a very mellow yet emotional feel to it. I didn't know that you were into this in tune with your feelings, Bookie. I can feel my cheeks growing hot at her teasing. You think? No need to feel so embarrassed about this. Poetry is a very personal thing, so it's not surprising to see you putting your raw emotions down on paper. Actually, your poem reminds me of something Sayori would write. Really? How so? Alright, well, I got Sayori, so... I mean... I kind of expected to get just a tad bit of Natsuki, but, you know. Also, another thing... I most likely will probably... I don't know. I'm just gonna be like... I'm not gonna be picky. I'm just gonna, like, just go with the flow and just... You know. So, I'm just gonna see what's gonna happen from here. Like, I'm just gonna be random about it. That's about it. I mean, you and Sayori are really good friends, right? It shouldn't be too far-fetched for you two to write I can't even read. Well, I guess you could say we used to be good friends at least. We kind of drifted apart over the years, so I guess it surprises me that we could still have things like this in common. This club is a perfect opportunity to become closer again, then, don't you think? I guess so. Anyway, much like yours, Sayori's writing tends to have a gentle feel to it. She often uses her words to quietly meander meaner through her imagination and to explore different emotions. Most of the time, I find that she addresses happiness and sadness in equal amounts, creating a bittersweet tone. Wow, that's kind of unexpected of her. Maybe she's changed more throughout the years than I thought. I know, right? IKR. Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy the pain of tragedy as well? You know, sometimes you sound like Yuri when you talk about poetry. Really? Yeah, I guess you really. Yeah, I guess you really like it, huh? You could say that. It really makes me happy if you get into poetry as well. No pressure, right? For real though, feel free to explore different things and experiment. Maybe you'll find yourself writing in a way you never thought you would, just like Siri does. Yeah, I'm sure I'll end up doing a lot of things before I settle on my own style. And it'll take a while before I'm completely comfortable sharing my writing. That's perfectly fine. In fact, I'd probably be more surprised if you immediately started writing with your own style. Most people go through the same process that you're going through right now. Trying new things is the best way to find the kind of style that suits you after all. Anyway, when you talk to everyone about it, naturally they'll be a bit biased toward their own kinds of styles. After all, I know I am. But don't force yourself to write in some way just because someone else wants you to. You should try to focus on what you want to do. Feel free to ask me for help anytime though. I try to be as objective as possible when I talk to people about these topics. Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, it's because I had to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. Always on duty as class president. Well, let's get to reading then. Oh, box? I see, but I don't believe. A lone fingerprint, glistening on gleaming glass. Was it me? Was I always the one in the dark? I pound on the glass. My prison. Why? Why me? Oh, oops. Yes, I clicked right click. Okay, that makes sense. The pain jolts. Why me? The pain jolts me back. The understanding pouring down like heavy rain. It's all a force. My heart's on display. My life's but a script just playing away. Out, the world out there had seemed so bright. It was so free, so many choices, so much potential. Maybe I could have had a choice. I realize now that there was never a choice. Never a chance. I was stuck in this box, and they on the other side chose for me. You all know the song. So, what do you think? You made a meme! Good job, man. I don't quite know how to say it. Sorry, I'm not really the... I definitely get a certain kind of feeling from reading your poem, but I'm not sure how to put it into words. I could understand that. Just try to articulate it however you want. You could use metaphors outside of poetry, you know. Well, when you put it like that, I don't know, I'd say that your poem is kind of abstract. Very vague, at least. Like, I can't quite tell what exactly you're talking about, but even so, I can feel what the speaker's feeling. Yeah, I think that describes my poem pretty well. Really? I do like my metaphors. Well, you'd probably be hard-pressed to find a poem without a metaphor, actually. Yeah, they're pretty well covered in English class, at least. The ability to convey emotions and concepts through words, describing things even the writer might never have experienced before. I find that really powerful. When you write metaphorically, it allows the reader to focus on the emotions in the poem. I guess it kind of opens up for the reader to have their own interpretations. Exactly. It's fascinating when people can diverge from the creator's original intent to find their own meaning in a work of art. Yeah. What was your original intent then? I think it'd be more fun if you try to figure out yourself. That just makes me more curious now. Maybe I'll tell you one day. But for now, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem, or anything for that matter, you get too fixated on a specific point. But if you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. So the best thing to do is just force yourself to get something down on the paper, and then tidy up later. Another way to think about this, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and write whatever's in your heart. Easier said than done. I get what she's trying to say, though. It's better to look back on your work with fresh eyes after you've gotten something down sometimes. That's my advice for the day. Thanks for listening. Ah. Very thing. Alright. Not sure to choose anymore. We'll show not save you first, just to get over with. Well, it's about I expected from someone like you. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What I mean is that it's just kind of average. Doesn't really evoke any emotions. So kind of bland for your tastes. Natsuki furrows her eyebrows at me. My taste? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, nothing. Well, anyway, guess I'll show you my poem now. Not that you'll like it or anything. Yeah, this is definitely not in the actual game. This is really good so far. Okay. Sometimes, some folks are winners. Some only lose. Some are go-getters. Some only cruise. Sometimes we try hard and give it our all. Sometimes we give up. What else can we do? Jeez, how harsh can you be? Told you you'd hate it. Actually, I like it. What? Don't just say it's good because I'm a girl. That's a bit sexist right there. Be honest. What? No, it has nothing to do with you being a girl. I genuinely like the poem. Really? Yeah, it's simple but still pretty effective. Finally, someone who gets it. People in high school think poetry has to be so formal and vague, but they don't realize that simple writing is just as effective, if not more. The reader shouldn't have to search for the meaning. That's just stupid. Besides, the simpler the writing, the more emphasis on wordplay. Like how I made most of the lines start with some. Yeah, I noticed that. Maybe the last couplets seem more powerful. Yes, that's exactly what I was going for. Well, good job then. Didn't expect that from the youngest of the club, did you? Yeah, guess not. Alright, well, Yuri. Yuri scans my poem with her eyes with a blank expression on her face. So, how is it? Sorry, I suppose as far as poetry goes, this isn't bad, but I'm not immensely impressed by it. Yuri turns away shamefully. I didn't mean for that to sound so blunt. Don't worry about it. I didn't take it that way. What makes you think that? Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes more than enough time for her to finish reading. Is everything okay? Oh goodness, sorry. I know what I want to convey, but I need to find the right words. I understand. Take your time. Okay, I think I know what I want to say. Do you have any prior writing experience? To be honest, not really. Isn't it that obvious? I don't mean to be rude, but I guess it might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No. Did I just find my voice? Sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. Yuri seems to be incredibly introverted. It must take her a long time to warm up to new people. Don't worry about it. We all start somewhere, right? What were you saying? Right. I just noticed a few qualities consistent with newer writers that showed up in your poem. Perhaps what stands out the most is that you've tried very hard to make the structure of this poem your own. And that's okay, but if this is the first one you've written, and it might be redundant to consider more traditional structures, couplets, sonnets, haiku, and the like. If you're not confident in your writing style, it'll show in your piece. It's like Yuri is in a totally different person when she gets going. She sounds incredibly confident and stands tall, speaking clearly. Again, that's not your fault. I think that's once you've studied poetic structures and techniques a bit more, you'll be able to put together a truly wonderful composition. I appreciate the feedback, Yuri. Sounds like you're well versed in this sort of thing. Would it be okay if I took a look at what you've written? Oh goodness, of course. Please let me know what you think. I'd be thrilled to explain my process. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, Isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Okay. Tumble. Hail falls down like discarded dust of overused emotions, dragging down blankets made of want. Slender strings pierces my eyelids, barely painful, and pulls them shut. Even so heavy. I think I misplaced something. Is there a piece missing? You need all pieces to fix something. Please don't look for it. There are more important things for you to do today. Dang, that's a bit dark. I'm so sorry if my writing is a bit illegible. Once my pen touches the page, I just want to get my thoughts down. It's fine, Yuri. I was able to read it just fine. I wasn't thinking that at all. Are you sure? It seemed to take you a while to read it. I mean, just a little while. I mean, it wasn't that much, though. Well, I guess I don't see cursive often. But it's really nice when I do. Your writing is actually quite pretty. Is that so? I'm glad you think so. It made your poem stand out even more as well. It's as though your writing fits your wound word choice, or vice versa. It wasn't too short, was it? I'm used to writing longer pieces, but since this is the first time we're sharing, I thought it would be easier to share. That makes sense. Do you mind telling me what it's about, though? I'm not sure I understand. Sorry, I didn't mean to write something confusing. Oh, it's not that. I just want to be sure I'm reading it properly. I see. I suppose from a cursory glance, it might not be obvious, but part of it makes poetry magical is how you can conjure up a vivid image with your words. While on the surface, it might seem a bit out there. If you look a little deeper, you might be able to find a deeper meaning hidden amongst the lines compounded by the metaphors used. For example, the words and images in this poem aren't meant to be taken at face value. In actuality, it's supposed to represent the last remnants of something lost to the past, in the sense of plaintive longing that comes with it. That's pretty impressive when you put it that way. Oh, I wouldn't go that far, but thanks for the compliment. Hopefully during your time here, your understanding of poetry will grow. These things will come to you naturally. I'll do my best. Thank you for sharing me with you. Of course. This is pretty interesting so far. I definitely noticed the poems that are poems, they're really different. Okay. Wow, Loki, this is so good. Seriously, this is your first poem? It's not that good, jeez. Seriously, it is. I love it. I had no idea you were such a good poet. Sorry, you're overreacting a bit. It's really nothing special. Trust me, it is. How did you write it? What do you mean? Like, what did you think of while you wrote this? This gonna sound a bit weird, but I thought of you. She gives me a brief look of disbelief, a faint blush on her cheeks. Me? Yeah, hey, not in like a weird way or anything. I just thought of words that reminded me of you and went along with that. It just felt kind of natural doing it in that way, I guess. Well, if it works, it works. Looks like this club is the best place for you. As much as I like her praise, it's not exactly helpful. I'm no master of poetry, and I kind of need to know how to get better. Yuri's opinion was way more constructive than this. Well, I'm glad you liked it, Yuri. Good to know I'm not totally in over my head here. She looks at me for a moment, not saying anything. There's a few moments of an odd silence. Earth to Sayori? She jumps slightly. Sorry. I'm just not used to not seeing you around again, that's all. To have you in the club, writing poems, it's lovely though. It just takes a little getting used to. Yeah, that's understandable. I'm a bit surprised myself, to be honest. But I'm enjoying it so far. That's good to hear. Do you want to read my poem now? Not very good though. Only one way to find out. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning makes me feel like you miss me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Well, what did you think? I hesitate as I answer. It's not that it was a bad poem. In fact, it was great.
I'm just really inexperienced with poetry, especially feedback. It's really you. What's that supposed to mean? As in, the poem just really reminds me of you. It made me feel really good inside. Really? Yeah, I had no idea what to expect, as this is my first time reading your poetry. But the way this was written, I don't know, it just feels really wholesome and cheery. Like you are. I also like the last line. Trust you of all people to include breakfast in their poems. Hey, I was eating it sorry to stop speaking immediately, as if she's accidentally let something slip. Oh, sorry, you wrote the poems this morning? No. Well, maybe. I forgot to write it last night. Well, at least we know where your inspiration comes from. Eggs and toast. Well, I suppose if it sounds silly, I suppose if it sounds silly, but it works, then it isn't silly. Either way, thanks for showing me your poem theory. It was really good. I'm happy you think so. Anyways, next time I won't forget. Tomorrow's poem will be even better. I'll hold you to that. Okay, all those were really interesting. Phew, I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was surprisingly fun. A bit stressful. A little bit stressful. I already knew that I wouldn't be able to write to the quality of the girls, but I tried my best. Everyone here is incredibly talented. Well, all the girls, at least. Katawa Shoujo. Katawa Shoujo and Monica are happily chatting again. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As I watch, Natsuki breezes through Yuri's poems, her eyes skipping through over the words. Meanwhile, Yuri stares at the poem in her hands, smiling sadly. Natsuki quickly hands Yuri her poem back. Here, I'm done. Already? Yeah, it's not like it was super hard to read. I'm not illiterate, you know. It was hard for me to understand, at least. I just want to make sure you caught all the figurative language that I employed. Yeah, I did. It was fancy. Thanks. However, I believe that you enjoyed it more if you looked deeper into it. I enjoyed it plenty already. Anyway, are you finished with my poem yet? Yes, yours is cute. Cute. Didn't you learn anything from our conversation yesterday? Yuri looks shocked, regret seeping into her expression. Seems like both girls still held onto their own I can't read. Despite whatever common ground they have. How can it be cute? You're standing there thinking that I haven't read your poem when it's really you who hasn't read my poem. It's clearly about the push and pull between giving up and trying hard. I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. Well, maybe you should look deeper into my poem. Because I use that type of language on purpose. Jesus Christ, it freaking yawns. I see. But if I may give a suggestion, these more involved subject matters maybe is better suited to more complex diction. The art of poetry is deeply intertwined with... Look, I know what you're trying to do, but it won't work on me. I'm sorry, but I don't quite understand. Writing in this way doesn't make you look cool or smart, okay? It just makes you look super pretentious. Pretentious? If you write with a thesaurus open next to you, you're just gonna alienate everyone. Using all these big words to make up for a lack of depth. Poetry isn't about impressing people, so you can just stop. Holy crap. Oh my god. Why would you do that to Yuri, man? I stare wide-eyed at Monica and Siri, who have now also fallen silent. They stare back at me, looking unsure of what to do. I'm guessing they don't usually have many arguments in the club. Although tensions between Natsuki and Yuri already seem kind of high. God, I feel bad. Lack of depth. Yeah, that's right. So if I can give some suggestions now... excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I really must ask. What makes you believe that I'll accept your advice that you've been so rude to me? Rude? That was just blunt honesty. Do you ever consider that other people don't hold the same opinions as you? What are you trying to say? Do I really need to spell it out for you? Yeah, you do.
I want to see if you're really going there. The irony. I dare you to say it. Yuri gives me a small laugh of disbelief. I must thank you, Natsuki. I've never been this angry in my life. It's actually giving me the courage to speak up. Is this why you're angry all the time? Guys, we shouldn't. This doesn't involve you. Siri, please don't rob me of my moment. So this is your moment to shine or something? Strange thing to take pride in, don't you think? No. It's my moment to finally speak my mind. Well, I still have the strength to... Yuri. Natsuki, have you ever realized how selfish you are? Suddenly, Yuri seems to be overpowering everyone else in the room. What? Everything always needs to go your way. You always jump to conclusions and make rash decisions without regard for the consequences. And it's never your fault, is it? You don't know me. No, you don't know me either. And yet you spoke as if you knew everything about me. Quite simply, you don't. The very fact you think that your blunt honesty was incredibly rude just goes to show how narrow-minded you truly are. Seizing her moment, Yuri boldly carries on, disdain dripping from each word. I know it must be a difficult concept for you to understand, but the whole world doesn't revolve around you and your manga. So tell me, why should I take advice from someone who can only see their own perspective? Everyone knows it. Monica, Sayuri, even Blookie. Don't involve me into this! Don't you remember how hostile you were to Blookie when he first joined us? I wasn't being hostile. We haven't had a new member in a long time. Sorry, not sorry for keeping on my toes. That's how I talk to everyone, not just Blookie. Am I supposed to change my whole personality to cater to how you think I should be? If Blookie has a problem with my jokes, he can tell me. You don't get to speak for him. Yuri closes her eyes and shakes her head, carrying on as if she didn't hear the outburst. Did you really expect a new member to be able to speak up so easily? Now everyone is as unafraid of being a Brutus Crichton as you. What? The rest of us were so excited to have a new member, but did that thought ever cross your mind? This is crazy. This is not the dialogue in the actual game. No, you just let your own selfish thoughts dictate your behavior. Selfish? They weren't you could have scared them off. That might have been what you wanted, but what about the rest of us? I just explained myself for God's sake, but as per usual, you aren't listening. You know, for someone who's been ranting on about how narrow-minded I am, you're pretty intolerant yourself. There, I used a big word. Do I sound like Shakespeare yet? Am I worthy of your attention now? Ouch. Both girls really had their claws out. Also, Monica and Sayuri didn't have any issue with me yesterday. It's just you. Of course they did, Natsuki. They just didn't say anything. Monica is too responsible, and Sayuri's too kind. She's not wrong. I mean, so why don't we ask Bookie then, as the more unbiased spectator. I said that wrong. Don't involve me into this, man. Fine. Bookie, who's right, me or Yuri? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? I don't even know. I don't even know what they want me to decide on this point. Should I just ignore all the personal stuff and just talk about all the poetry? That's what started this argument after all. But it's not like I'm a good judge of writing quality, given that I'm just a beginner. I don't think it would be fair to me to take either side either, especially since I'm new here. Maybe I should defer one of the club members. What? I can't. Oh, I can. I thought it said Natsuki and Yuri, but like I was like, oh, I can't pick I can't get Sayuri to help, but I can. Who can I turn to? Oh, this is really new. I don't. Oh man. Sayuri. I hate being put on the spot like this, but both Yuri and Natsuki are looking at me. While their hostility isn't aimed at me, I still feel like I'm the target for the anger in their eyes. Guys, I gulp nervously as a bead of sweat trickles down my neck. I'm really not the best judge for this after all. I'm new, so I'm painfully aware how weak my voice sounds, and neither girl looks suppressed. Wow, real help you are, Natsuki. Let me guess, blah blah blah, you're being so rude. You're a broken record, Yuri, shut up. Ah, so you're finally realizing how insolent you are? You got there in the end. Well done.
You are such a stop. Wait a minute. We're all stunned into silence. I've never heard Sayuri angry before, and even Natsuki looks taken aback. Immediately, the anger on Sayuri's face is replaced by a flood of tears. The anger giving way to sadness. Guys, enough of this. Please. You're tearing apart this club. Please don't do this. I love this place so much, and you guys are both my friends. I hate it when people fight. It's horrible. This place means so much to me, and I know it means a lot to you guys as well. So please, can we stop arguing over whose style is better? It doesn't even matter. You're both unique, and that's what counts. Yuri and Natsuki are both looking incredibly ashamed of themselves. I guess neither of them expected as their argument would hurt Sayuri so much. That one raging fire has been snuffed out, replaced with smoldering embers. I really like your simple style, Natsuki. It's so nice to sit down and read a poem that springs to life. And I know that others do as well. Monica and I nod in earnest, putting a small smile on Natsuki's face. And Yuri, I'm amazed how complex and deep poems are. They're really in-depth, but there's no need to argue over which style is better. You can't really compare them anyway. It depends on what mood you're in. She's right, guys. Sometimes you're just in the mood for something simple. Sometimes you might want something a bit more complex. It's like music or movies. People like a variety of things. You can't really say that comedy as a genre is better than action, can you? Both types appeal to different things. You wouldn't watch an action movie for the laughs, would you? I look over to see her and give her a reassuring smile. She turns away with a watery smile on her own, rubbing her tears away. You said it, rookie. She turns to face Yuri and Natsuki once more. Now, you both said some stuff that was pretty mean, but I know neither of you meant it. Neither of you are narrow-minded, although it would be nice if you could like each other's stuff a bit more. So could you try doing that a little, please, for me, for the club? Can't help but laugh as she puts on puppy dog eyes. I don't think she realizes it's the right time to use them. Sure, whatever, I'll try. Yuri takes a deep breath, finally lifting her eyes off the floor. You're right, Sayuri. I'll also make more of an effort. And Natsuki, what? Natsuki still looks quite defiant, as though expecting another insult from Yuri. I apologize for what I said. Your style has its own merits. Natsuki blinks, as though slapped in the face. She clearly wasn't expecting an apology. Meh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Your style is... She diverts her eyes downwards once more. I guess what I'm trying to say is, you write pretty well. I shouldn't have said that stuff. Me neither. There's an awkward silence. Good, I can clear my throat. That's much better, guys. Thanks for putting your differences aside. We all really appreciate it. I'll go and make some tea. She rushes off as Natsuki wanders over to the closet. I glance over at Monica. She hasn't said a word throughout the whole argument, which surprised me. I should have been the one who said all that. Why didn't you then? I wince as the words leave my mouth. They sounded more accusatory than I would have liked. Well, I know I'm the leader and I run this club, but I'm not the greatest with people. I frown. If she isn't great with people, how can she run a club? She must have caught the confusion on my face as she hastened to explain. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I'm fine with people. It's just their drama that I can't really deal with. Well, that's why you have Sayuri, right? Mm-hmm. She's an excellent vice president, able to deal with conflict much better than I can. Which is pretty embarrassing, at least for me. That should have been my duty to deal with, not hers. I don't blame you. Seriously, it was pretty tough to get involved. I could barely speak up. True, but that's exactly the sort of thing that a president should be able to deal with. Nah, come on, Monica. Don't see it like that. You and Sayuri just have different strengths, that's all. I always thought of her as a little ditzy sometimes, but she definitely has a knack for social situations. Definitely. I'm very grateful to have her as my vice president. Well, the both of you do a really good job running this place. I know that's a bit of an early assessment, but first impressions and all. She smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. You're too kind, Boogie. I'm glad Sayuri brought you along to the club. I really do hope you stick around. Don't worry, I will. Monica seems like a genuine person. She makes a great president, regardless of what she might think. Hopefully I'll be able to properly get to know her during the school year. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing your poem?
I noticed that she carefully avoided mentioning the argument that just occurred. It was a lot of fun. Some moments were worth it. It was alright mostly. Well, Blookie, how about you? I actually really enjoyed myself. It seems I do like expressing myself through poetry a lot more than I intentionally thought. Everyone looks intently at me, the girl smiling at me. It was really cool getting to see everyone's different writing styles. That's awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And hopefully you learn something from us too. So your poems will turn out even better. Yeah. I think to myself a bit as I begin to pack up. Today I managed to learn a little bit more about the kinds of poems that everyone likes. With any luck, I'll be able to learn more about the girls as individuals, their themes and messages. I nodded myself, turning to Sayuri. Hey Sayuri, ready to rock home? Sure. Okay, see you guys tomorrow then. As we leave the club room, Sayuri turns back to wave at the girls. I do the same. Natsuki smiles and quickly looks away and acts like she doesn't care. Yuri awkwardly smiles and nods. And as expected from the school idol, Monica gives a friendly grin and waves back. Sayuri, about what had happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. I remember you told me yesterday that they sometimes bicker, but are all their arguments normally that bad? I feel a little guilty as I ask her. I know she doesn't like talking about conflict. There's a slight dip in the cheeriness of her voice as she replies, No, not at all. They have their differences, but it's the first time I've ever seen them fight like that. They're both wonderful people, I promise. You don't hate them or anything, do you? Oh, not at all. It's only normal for people to argue, I guess. I was just curious. After all, you know them better than I do. Syria lets out a relieved sigh. You know, Loki, it's been so nice seeing you again. I didn't really think we'd get to spend much time with one another again. Yeah, tell me about it. It's been really fun hanging out again. I don't really know when we started drifting or why. Guess it was just life coming between us. She nods a little reflective. Still, I'm glad you let me join your club. I'm not going to lie, at first I was a bit doubtful when you told me it was about literature. But hey, I guess it goes to show that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. She giggles and I frown. Did I say something funny? Nice pun. Did you even realize? I realized. I know what the pun was. So, huh? Pung? Pung? Pun? You meant about the book comment? Oh, and this is a literature club. Jeez, looks like the cause really is starting to rub off on me, isn't it? Suri might be known as a bit of an airhead, but sometimes she can really notice things that others don't. I wonder what's it really like inside her head. You haven't changed at all, Blicky. You always knew how to make me laugh. I blushed slightly. I never really known how to react to that compliment, especially when it comes from someone of the opposite sex. I'm glad I'm still able to do that. I'll be honest though, I didn't think I'd make so many new friends by joining the club. Well, they're nice, but dang it! I keep pressing the spacebar. I keep pressing the spacebar too fast on accident. Yeah, a pretty warm welcome. She nods contentedly. Anyway, let's see what the future holds. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, see you tomorrow. These girls are all interesting characters, aren't they? Different personalities and a variety of writing styles. Yet they are all united under the same club. I briefly wonder how Monica found them all. In just 2 days, I feel like I made progress with each member. Getting to know Yuri and Natsuki, actually getting to talk to with Monica a little bit. And of course, reuniting with an old friend. I never would have guessed that. I would have never guessed this would all come from joining the club. But hey, I'm not complaining. Let's just hope my writing improves over time so I can write poems so it's sounding more like theirs. Speaking of which, there's work to be done tonight. Let's do this! Back to the transition. Alright, so yeah, that was really fun. I liked it. It was really interesting to see like the poems like were different from the actual game. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. So I'm gonna leave it off here, and I'm excited to see what else is gonna come by, especially when whatever that happens. So yeah, I'll see you guys in